Upon hearing from Lokesh ji about today's Christmas celebration, even though we are in a Hindu surrounding, I inquired, and he said that here in the foundation there is no particular emphasis upon any particular organized religion. To this I asked, I meaning Anna, to this I asked that if this is so, then are all the national holidays celebrated here? He didn't reply. And when she says he didn't reply, she ends with 3 dots. And you know what these 3 dots mean? Whenever you see them, to be continued, there is something left unsaid. Either it is unclear or it is of a nature that cannot be discussed or good question, and thanks. That will enrich the whole thing. So what she's saying is that, sirs, friends, I'm surprised you are celebrating Christmas. I'm glad you are celebrating Christmas, but I want to trust you. I want to be certain that your celebration is authentic. How do I be certain that you really have something for Jesus? Because in general, such a thing is not seen. She says we are in a predominantly Hindu surrounding, and yes, of course. And she says that the foundation prides itself on Advait. And Advait is fundamentally Indian. You could even say Hindu. The texts that we are seeing here are mostly Indian and Hindu texts. The entire ecosystem appears to be Indic and Hindic, both. Even the language is Hindi. So how is it so that this fellow has come over? It doesn't happen this way in the rest of the world, or at most places anywhere in this world. Then she says, fine, if it is not only with the Hindu scriptures or Hindu deities or the Hindu pantheon that you are concerned, if you say that you have an universal outlook, that you look forward to the teachings of all religions, then why is it only Jesus selectively that you are celebrating? So she asks a pointed question. She is saying, do you celebrate all national holidays? By national holidays, you probably mean all the holidays relating to the various organized religions of the world. That's what you mean. Yes. Okay, that's what she means. Now, is the doubt clear? The doubt is, if you have so much for Jesus, and this relates to you all because she has seen everybody in the festive spirit throughout this day. If you have so much for Jesus, equally do you have for Moses and Muhammad and Confucius and Lao Tzu? Are you getting it? Do you really cherish Buddha and Mahavir in the same way? That's the question. What's the answer then? Yes. You see, technically no. Technically no. But if the answer is no, it is not because the teachings from certain religions are valued more than or over the teachings of a few selected religions. That is not the case here. It is for a very simple reason. You can celebrate somebody's birthday only if first of all you know him factually. With all due respect to the foundation and the people present here, most of us do not even know the principal figures even in the Indic stream. You know, we sing of a particular saint a lot. Even as this session is going on, another parallel session is happening in Delhi, where the songs of that saint are being sung. Who is being referred to? Kabir. How many of us celebrate Kabir Jayanti? But surely there would be hardly anybody here who is not in love with Kabir. But do we celebrate any particular day in the year relating to Kabir Sahib? That is not because of lack of love. That is simply because of lack of knowledge. To celebrate somebody's birthday, first of all, you must know his birthday. People here do not belong, mostly, with a few exceptions maybe, to the scholarly category. They won't have too much knowledge. Many of us may have depth of understanding, but if you will quiz them about facts, they will not know. They will just not know. With Christmas, things are a bit more convenient. Even if you do not know, the market tells you. You don't need to even remember. In fact, if you will know a lot, if you will gain in knowledge, then it will become difficult for you to celebrate Christmas. Because this day, 25th of December every year, is not at all the day of birth of Jesus Christ. Those who have a background in history know of this. If you will know about Santa Claus, from where did the figure come and how exactly did he become popular, it will become difficult for you to look at him the same way as you usually do. So that's how Christmas is being celebrated. It is incidental that on this day, people are displaying their festive spirit. What is essential is that people have love and regard for anyone, be it Jesus Christ or anybody else. Anyone who loves the truth, declares himself to be the Son of Truth, and with compassion works for the liberation of the world. Are we loving, respecting, celebrating a particular person called Jesus Christ? Not at all. if you are looking at these festivities, they are dedicated to anyone who says that I come directly from there, and coming directly from there, he works hard and pays with his life to pull people up to there. The name of such an agency, the name of such a person, such a force, such a manifestation could be Jesus Christ, could be Krishna, could be Ram, or could be anybody. We are just celebrating divinity. We are just celebrating avatarhood. Are you getting it? It is incidental that it is being celebrated in the name of Jesus. And it is being celebrated in the name of Jesus. Because Jesus is easy to remember in this age of Santa Claus. Are you getting it? Obviously, this gathering will not be able to celebrate the birth, the life, the deeds of each and every saint that has been, or that is, for the simple reason of lack of knowledge. We do not know. If we are not celebrating them, it is just because we do not know of them. And if we are celebrating this, you should know that this celebration is dedicated not to one person, but to all saints of the world. It is dedicated to sainthood itself. It is dedicated to spirituality itself. This celebration is dedicated not to the Christian Jesus Christ, not the Jesus Christ of the Christians. This celebration is dedicated to that within man that aims to be one with the truth. So kindly drop the notion that these are Hindus here who are surprisingly celebrating a Christian festival. That seems to be your assumption. And that is why you are perplexed. What are these Hindus doing? They are celebrating a Christian festival. That's too good to believe. So the mind feels like doubting it. Maybe there is something fishy somewhere. Are these people really genuine? I have anyway always doubted the wisdom of this chap, Sandeep. And if he is connected to these people, that is all the more reason all of them should be doubted. Had they been really admirers of Jesus, then they should have admired all the other prophets as well. You know what? If you ask them that in the tradition of Abraham, what are the prophets that have been? They will not be able to tell. How will they celebrate? And nobody out here is even interested in knowing the names of prophets. Are you interested? To us, spirituality is going beyond the load of name, time, date and form. Who wants to remember dates? Time is the load of the head. Names are what keep us in bondage. Today was easy. We did not need to remember anything. I remind you, today was easy. We did not need to remember anything. It was shouted in our ears that Jesus is coming. The market was the alarm. Jesus is coming. Jesus is coming. You know what? My hotel charged me thousands extra. Right at the time of check-in, they said, the duration of your stay includes the Christmas Eve. I said, yes, probably it does. So what? You have to pay up. Pay up. There would be a gala dinner. And for that, they really squeezed out hard-earned money from my pocket. Now, how will I ever forget this day? Having lost so many thousands, I am not going to forget this day for another century. So I am relieved of the load to remember. I don't have to remember. The market is making me remember. But if I ask you to celebrate Sant Raidas Jayanti, it will be difficult for you, though I know that many of you would be greatly in love with Sant Ravidas. Rohit, with us here, sings beautifully of at least one particular verse from Raidas. But ask him, when is Raidas Jayanti? We don't love to remember dates. We don't. This date we remember because of the gala dinner. Getting it? But at the same time, we love the manifestation of truth whenever it happens, wherever it happens, in whatever name it happens. We needed a reason to celebrate. We got the reason. The reason is incidental. If you'll come to the place where the foundation is, there is one chap whose birthday is celebrated at least half a dozen times every year. We just need a reason to kick his butt. That's it. When you really want to do something, does it matter what the day or time is? Does it matter? He deserves to be kicked. So every second month, he gets a birthday. Counting the number of birthdays, he must be centuries old now. I know this is a very incapable answer. Does it assuage your doubt a bit? When we say we are alive, we mean our typical ways of living. That's what is meant by being alive. So when Jesus says that you will meet me when you die, or when you'll meet God when you die, what he means is that unless you die to your existing ways of living, there is no possibility of godliness for you. For us, life is not physical, it is much more psychological. Life is much more psychological. That's why you talk of a good life and a bad life. Does your elbow get better when you are living a good life? Does your knee get worse when you are living a bad life? Today you say you are having a bad life. Tomorrow you say you are having a good life. Your body has remained much the same. What has changed? the inner life. And when I say inner life, I do not mean the soul or the Atma. By inner life, I mean the mental life. By dying then is meant the discontinuation of the mental life, the beliefs of the mind. The very basis on which the mind is operating. The core principles that you have taken as the truth. Unless they are challenged and defeated, there is no possibility of something new coming to you. The core principles have to be challenged, they have to be defeated, they have to be questioned. You said you want to introduce this to your friends from the West. You want to explain this to them. Explain to them that there are things that are far more valuable than the material. Tell them that they must learn to really value. Redoing their calculation mathematics would be the same as the expiry of the old life and the initiation of a new life. Because calculations we anyway do. Valuations we anyway attach to things. But unfortunately, we attach valuations only to things. At best, thoughts and ideas. You pay for tea. Because it satisfies your palate, your stomach. You can probably also pay for a book because it gives you thoughts. When you value tea, you value a thing. When you value a book, you value a thought. But there is something far more valuable than these. Far more valuable. And if they don't agree, then ask them, is love a thing? Surely they'll say, no, it is not. Then ask them, is it a thought? Now there would be a debate. They'll say, no, love is a feeling, this, that. Here science will come to help you. Because if love is a feeling, then science has conclusively proven that all feelings are merely the action of chemicals in the brain. So if they insist that love is not a thing, but nevertheless it is a feeling or a thought, then say, do you mean that love is merely a chemical? They would want to say yes for the sake of defending their argument, but it would be such an indignified yes that they would refrain from saying it. To say that love is dopamine or some other chemical sounds very abusive. Does it not? So what is love then? What is love then? I'm talking specifically of love. Because if I say joy, they will conflate joy with happiness. And happiness is surely linked to the secretion of hormones, chemicals. So they'll say, of course, joy is happiness and happiness is hormones. But love is accorded a sacred status in our culture, in all cultures. So it becomes a little difficult to hold the position that love is merely a hormone. They'll say, no, it is not a hormone. Because if love is merely a hormone, then your relationship with your wife is merely hormonish. Then do not say that you love your kids. Your kids are nothing but products of hormones. Ask them, what is love? And if they really abide by the truth, if they are really interested in an honest discussion, they'll come to admit that yes, love is something neither a thing nor a thought, yet very valuable. Challenge the valuation. Challenge it. If somebody can admit that even one valuable word is not a thing, then he has admitted God. Because what does godlessness say? Godlessness says there are only things and thoughts. If you can admit of even one bit outside the province of things and thoughts, then you have effectively accepted the transcendental. You have effectively admitted that which is beyond. Are you getting it? Valuation has to be challenged. All life is nothing but the art of valuation, you see. Just the art of valuation. We don't know how to value. Because we are terribly body identified and body is material. So we value only the material. Whereas the fact is that our heart is all the time yearning for that which is beyond material. And it is so strange. You want that which is beyond material and yet you are valuing only the material. Rohit would probably be remembering this. We were at a particular college 5-6 years back. And this girl gets up and says, I was holding a seminar with the students. And so she's like this. And she says, sir, we are paying 800 rupees for a semester long program. Is it not too much? 800 rupees for a semester long program. Is it not too much? I said, first of all, you are not paying 800, you are paying 1100. Secondly, when was the last time you had a pizza? He said, oh, pretty recently. How much did it cost? 400, 500. How many times a semester do you have a pizza? How many times a semester? Sir, you should ask how many times a week. So you think that this self-development program is not worth 2 helpings of the pizza? That's our valuation. Pizza is valuable because you can feel it in your hands and you have identified with your hands. With your hands. Because you are bodily identified, so a thing is valuable. Even a thought is valuable. But that is not valuable. So it's okay. If it's in the name of Christmas gala dinner, that hotel charges me thousands extra for food, because food can be When I said enough of observation, I clearly meant act now. Act now. I said, the bird has been observing the spikes of its cage since too long now. No more observation is needed. What is it that you do not know of? Act. Now you are asking, how about jap? How about reciting the name of God? How about reciting the various mantras and verses and shlokas? How will it help the bird to keep reciting the name of the sky? Earlier she was busy observing the spikes. Nice. I'm in the cage and this is what keeps me caged. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm observing them. Yes, observing them. And now she is busy reciting and singing the name of the sky. Akash Sahasranam. The 100 names of the glorious sky. And who is reciting them? The caged bird. How will it help? Junk, all junk. Work. Jyoti, what do you find me doing? I'm working. And in the process of working, the name of God is getting recited an infinite number of times. I'm working, not merely reciting. This is work. And when I say work, I mean action that intends change. Action that intends change. Solid action. Ultimately, you want change, don't you? All the stuff that you do in the name of spirituality is just a means, is it not? A means to attain some change. Or do you want to stick to the means? What is jap for? What is observation for? Now let that happen. Make that happen. The bird cannot wait for the cage to dissolve. And the cage would never just dissolve on its own. One has to fight. One has to fight. One has to fight with all her might, knowing fully well that her wings are no match for the strength of the cage. She should still fight and say, I am fighting. This is my decision. With complete onus upon herself, with a total sense of doership, she should fight knowing fully well that it is a doomed fight. Such doership is called non-doership. Are you getting it? When you fight with the intention to win or gain, then it is doership. When you fight with the intention to perish in the battle, it is non-doership. Work with this intention. Act with this intention. Work is needed now. There have been waves after waves of people, Jyoti, who have kept sitting comfortably in their warm corners, reciting the various names of the Lord, the truth, 1,000,000 times. They are still found in the merry-go-round of Chaurasi. Show with your life what you want life to be. Show with your action the depth of your love.